friendships, especially men and how they choose their friendships. Have you ever heard a statement that is said that men are destroyed by the friendships they keep? How true is that?
It's very true, because men are also built by the friendships that they keep. Because a man is his friends. At the end of the day, men are defined and determined by the friends that they keep. Are there friends that they don't keep also? So anytime you find that, and it's a thing that men don't take seriously as well, is that men are so driven and so loyal to their friends, but also men don't take deliberate time to choose their friends. Okay. Yeah, that's where now the killing comes from. Men don't take time to choose their friends slowly and understand who do I need, where do I need them, and how do I need them. Men more often than not find themselves reactively into friendships.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where is the mission then? Yes. How do they find themselves in that particular situation whereby they are reactively choosing their friends?
Because by nature, the men are by nature, is that men do and calculate later. That's how naturally how men do. That is, statistically, many men regret the wives that they married more than the number of women who regret the men that they married. Because by nature, men do and think later. Yes. And because men do and they think later, it's easy for a man to flow, because it is working now, it's functioning now. So, and it's an ironic thing, because men need to be vision bearers, but it's an ironic thing because men, when it comes to friendships, men act, then they think later. Well, if the friendship is working, am I feeling good right now? Am I enjoying it now? I'll think later. And that is how men end up choosing the wrong friends. And if they're lucky, they end up having the right friends. Yeah.
Okay, and what about those men who've gotten married and yet their wives have a problem with the friends they've been keeping all along?
That's a question that is good for, an answer good for women to know. Because women should know that. Why wives have a problem with the friends their husbands keep is because the wife can see from the outside the impact the friend is having. And the wife is seeing that the impact of the friend is taking away from the man who he's supposed to be and how he's supposed to be. Because the woman can see the influence. She can see it. So if my wife can see what my friends are doing, then it's easy for my wife to begin to think, what is he doing? It's because of this person that is there. Women have the ability to see. Where women fail is how they communicate about that friend. That's where the downside is. More often than not, they're actually right. Yes.
Okay.
Maybe a thing that affects the associations is because maybe men don't understand the importance of the friends you keep. Maybe that's a thing I can answer.
The importance, you can never downgrade the importance of a man and the clique of men that are next to him. If you look at Jesus, he was very specific. The men he chose to walk with him. Men have to be deliberate in who they choose to walk with. And the problem with men is that men are like the trains a long time ago. You know how a train would go and pick everyone it can pick, you know, and that's how men are. Men pick friends like trains, and as they go they pick. As they go they pick. Men don't spend time and think, where am I going? Which men do I need near me? Yes, that's the biggest question. So if a man can't ask which men do I need near me, then the ability or the possibility of this man choosing the wrong people or being chosen, let me say that, being chosen, because more often than not, again, I said men find themselves where they are. Many men don't say, fine, I think I don't want this person in my life, I want this person in my life. Most men don't do that. Most men just happened. I was working somewhere, got some guys, we went out for a few drinks, we became friends, and that's it. Yeah, we never really sat and thought, okay, by the way, where I'm going in life, do I need this person? So the importance of friendship to men is very, very critical. Yeah.
Is there a proper way that you can advise men who are watching you now on the best way to follow so that they can end up choosing the right friends?
You have to look at where you are. Where are you? Yeah. You have to look at who do you want to become. It's as simple as that. Because as a man, I must think of where am I and who do I want to become. And if I'm not willing, because the nature of men, as much as we are leaders, or men love to think that they are leaders, men actually are followers. Yeah, that's the irony again of life. As much as men assume that they are leaders and they love to lead, men actually love to follow. Men follow. And that is why peer pressure is strongest in men than it is in women. Because men love to follow. Our nature as men is to follow. And so as much as we want to lead, we lead based on how someone else led. I want to lead how my father led. I want to lead how the man in my life led. So men by nature are followers than they are leaders. But again, men, because of their position, they always assume that leadership is the first thing. So I must be cognizant, where am I? And where am I going to? Now, who is the man I need to ensure that I get there?
I have a question. Isn't that like using or manipulating another individual for your own gain? If you look at it from that perspective, I'm choosing to associate with so and so because I can get something from them. At what point does it become genuine?
Remember that again. How do men measure genuineness? How do men measure genuineness? The measure of genuineness in men is very different. Yeah, because no man gets into any relationship with anyone that is not winning. Let's be honest. No man gets a relationship with any man that is not winning. Be it with a woman, with another, you want to be friends with someone. There's always a symbiotic relationship between men. That's what men do. Men don't get in it for nothing. A man must be winning something. What is he gaining? Now, the thing I need to look at is that which I'm gaining, is it taking away from the person that I'm getting into a friendship with? That is the question. Am I bringing them to a place where they are dying or they are going down? Or am I building, or as they are building me, they are also growing? You see, but at the end of the day, it has to be symbiotic. Because remember, again, there's a saying, that if you see a group of 10 broke people walking together, yeah, run away, you'll be the 11th one. The reality is that it's difficult to get into a room of 10 rich men if you're not rich. They will run away from you. So there has to be that which you are bringing as well. As a man, what am I bringing in? But I can be able to be co-opted into this group that is supposed to help me as a man to grow. So there's always a part of value. And the biggest thing that men don't like to look at is what is our value? The value questions that men don't like to answer. What is our value? What am I bringing to the table? What am I presenting? Of what benefit am I to this particular person? If I can't answer that question, it becomes difficult because now I pick whoever can accept me. I'm not picking where I think I should be accepted. Yeah.
And also we pick based on the kind of void that is existing in us. Now there is a statement that you've said that women have the ability to see the impact a certain friend is having on the husband. Now if they discover that this particular friend my husband is keeping has a negative effect, what is the proper way to correct that?
The first things first is that if as a woman she is not the closest friend to the husband, then she is fighting a battle she can win. Because if a woman is not the closest friend to the husband, then there's no way she can tell the husband is having bad friends. Because again, what is he gaining? If I walk away from my friend, what am I gaining? Yeah, a man must do something that makes him win. If I'm not gaining, then why am I walking away? So she must present an argument that shows he's winning. If the argument shows he's losing, then he's going to, he won't even listen. In fact, the more he'll fall in love with his friends. Yes.
That is very true. The more he'll fall in love with his friends, then is it a possibility that a relationship or marriage can work if a man and a wife are not friends?
It is a very difficult marriage to work. It cannot break. It can survive to break, but it will never thrive. Yes. The marriage can survive. A marriage where a man and a wife are not friends can actually survive the test of time. But also it will not break, but it will never thrive.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And talking about thriving, again, we tend to parent, especially as men, based on how we were parented, okay, from experience. Is there a possibility whereby a man can train his sons on how to choose friends based on the value system that we've talked about?
It's difficult to teach another man how to choose friends. It's one of the most important possible things to do, because men choose friends just the way they are as men. The friends that are good for me cannot be good for my son. And more often than not, remember that many men happen into good friendships. So many men don't plan friendship. We happen into them. And the happening is based on, now where it becomes clear is not in the choosing, it's in the shedding off. let me bring that into perspective. The shedding off is where the difference begins. When I begin to shed off, the shedding off is where, as a man, I'm beginning to grow, and I'm beginning to know that I don't need this people in my life. But friendships to men happen. I can't wake up in the morning and say I want to go and become friends with Bill Gates. Where will I find him? Yes, there's a high possibility that I'll never meet him. I can't wake up in the morning and say I want to be a friend with this particular person. It's difficult. So generally men don't wake up in the morning and say I want to go make friends with so and so. It's different because women can do that. A woman can say I want to be friends with this person, and a woman will be deliberate and say I want to buy this person lunch. Let's have lunch with so and so. Let's talk. I want to know you. Men, we happen into friendships. We always look and find, oh, by the way, I spend more time with this person than this one. I talk to this person more than this one. It happens. Now, when I'm growing, I begin to look in the happening. Do I still need this person? Then now the pushing and the sifting begins. Because now I'm becoming clear as I'm growing where I am going.
Okay.
Yeah. What is the difference between having friends that are ahead of you and having mentors?
You see, friends who are ahead of you, you are in the company of people who are just ahead of you. It's not deliberate. Yes, it's not deliberate. They have no obligation in your growth curve. It is you choosing on how you want to glean and pick from them to enable them to grow and to enable you to grow. Mentors are different because a mentor is not necessarily a friend. A mentor can be friendly, but not necessarily a friend. So, but a friend in their own right has the ability to encourage you, to lift you, do mentorship, even though they're not friends. But they have no obligation on if you succeed or not. A mentor carries that burden. That is the difference.
Okay. And talking about the difference, and you've talked about choosing friends based on where we are, that now brings in another element of evolution of friendships. Most men are in friendships with their fellow men based on their history and not based on what value is being added to them. And no wonder it's getting destructive. How can we change that kind of mindset again?
It can't be changed. That's how just men are. Men are loyal. So you can't change men. Men are loyal. Men look at history. Men look at what have you been through together. Yes. Men value friendships based on what have they been through together. So to men, history is always the anchor of friendship. Men don't anchor their friendships. Very, very few men anchor friendships based on the future. Very many men, friendship is based and strengthened from the history they have shared. The history that they have shared enables them to dream tomorrow. But history is always important. Absence of history, there's nothing.
Okay.
Yes.
So what happens when the history is actually making the man or the friendship deprive from what a man ought to be giving in his marriage? What happens in that scenario?
You see, history doesn't stop you from growing.
Okay.
History just gives me a reference point. History doesn't take away from growth, because the moment history makes me not to grow, then I have a problem. I'm stuck in the past. And you found you've met friends from school who talk to you about high school only. And you're in a place where you want to talk more about things that are happening. You want to move forward. History helps men to be loyal, and that is why in a marriage requires to have good history. A marriage needs to build good memory, because the absence of good memory in a marriage takes away the ability to have good history. Because remember, again, men are drawn by history. There's no history, there's nothing. He can be loyal to what he does not know. Men are loyal to what they know. Yeah.
And talking about loyalty, some friendships are birthed as a result of what they are loyal to. I might be loyal to a job and not necessarily to you.
Yeah.
And that is exactly where, again, men get drowned. We think that because you are loyal to me as Bramwell or as Victor, yet you are loyal to me as you are loyal to me because of what I do or where I am in life.
Is the question the one who's being loyal, or the one giving the loyalty, or the one receiving the loyalty? The one giving the loyalty, based on the job, has no problem, because they are clear. They know what they want. The problem is the one who does not know. That is the problem. That's the one who needs to sit and ask himself a few questions, because I need to know. That's why, again, it's good to assess and evaluate every friendship and every relationship. And the thing that men don't do is that, because men can be betrayed by the same friend and spend time with the same friend.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, and talking about betrayal, Victor, you'd realize that especially men who are married, most women will complain that he doesn't talk stuff to me. He vents to his friends. Okay, how can we change that?
The wife is not being a friend. When the wife doesn't become a friend, then automatically, how do I tell things that I can't tell my friend to? Friendship is not forced. Friendship is natural. You don't force it. Yes. You can't tell someone, "Kuja uniambie, I want you to come and," you can't. You can't force someone to tell you that. So I must be thinking that I needed to build a conversation whereby, as a wife, to build a conversation whereby my husband feels that I'm a close friend. And if I feel that I'm a close friend, then we are able to connect and have a conversation.
So what is the easiest way for you to reach there, for this woman to reach that level of being a close friend to his husband?
The first way is this, is what builds friendship. What builds friendship? And you must look at the definition of friendship in everyone. If I ask you what is friendship, you'll define differently. Now, the role of this wife is to know what defines friendship to my husband. How does he read and see this is friendship? If he doesn't read friendship, then I'm lying to myself. I need to know what the definition. To one person, the definition of friendship is playing golf. Another person is playing chess. Another person is let's talk about a book. So she must know what is friendship to this person. Let us build friendship. Let's have a conversation based on the friendship that we are having, because now I'm knowing you. You can't be friends to a person you don't know and a person who you don't understand their interests. Yes.
Again, now that brings in an element of vulnerability, okay? Because again, a man cannot be emotionally naked to somebody they are strangers to or with, okay? Is there a possibility where we can work things out to the level where a man can now start being emotionally naked to the wife, even though they are not friends?
That's impossible. That can't happen anywhere on earth. Yes, if you tell that to any man, he'll run away. That's impossible. That's impossible. Because vulnerability involves safety. And safety for men comes where friends are. If there's no friend, then I can't be safe. It's as simple as that. So if I don't find friendship, then I don't have safety. If I have no safety, then I can't be vulnerable. Yes.
Right. So it is all about building friendship.
Building friendship.
And especially focusing on the value system. Okay.
Yeah, but there's still the challenge of shedding of friends. So are there like techniques someone can apply to make the process easy?
Yeah. Delete. Delete, block. Delete, block, delete, block, delete, block, delete, block. Because you always have to do an evaluation of where you are and where you're going. I believe that as a man, it's dangerous not to be sure and to be focused about where you're going. As a man, you need to be focused on the journey you're taking. If you're not focused on the journey you're taking, then it's not easy for you to focus on who you're going with. Because if you're going to go for a trip, you begin to analyze. I need my laptop, I need my charger, isn't it? I need to carry a t-shirt, I need to carry jeans, I need to carry shoes. What shoes do I need to carry? There are things I have to think about. Now, if I'm not sure about where I'm headed, if I don't know where I'm going, then the possibility of me not being able to evaluate and say, I will remove person X and remove person Y, because where I'm going, they cannot just fit. What I'm thinking about now and what they're thinking about are two different things. What I'm believing for, where I'm pushing myself to grow, and where they are is very different. Yes.
How do you move away from someone who maybe helped you before? It's your school fees or something. Then now you have to help.
Again, you have to look at the process of the journey. Is that, did the person help because of friendship? Or did the person help because they were available to help? There has to be that part of balance. Because again, that's why men are victims of their own loyalty. Because at times also men at times confuse that what is a journey and what is an event. What took place now and versus what do I need for the rest of my life. There has to be that level of balance between the two. That am I moving forward? Am I growing? Am I becoming? Am I me and this person, are we agreeing on where we are going? It's very important. If I don't do that evaluation, then I can be loyal. Life is changing. My life is changing. Things are moving. But because I'm not in the space where I am not sure or I'm not certain about where I'm going, then I'm thinking, no, I need to be more, let me hold on to the history. But as I said, history gives us the foundation, a reference point. But from there now, are we moving together? Are we growing together? Are we increasing together? Am I learning? Are we growing? Are we becoming?
And talking about men being victims of their own loyalty, it again brings in another perspective where men have a difficulty in saying goodbye to their good friends. Even though the season doesn't allow, you know very well that I know I don't need this person to the next level I'm headed to. How can we learn to accept that friendship have got seasons?
It's a difficult thing for men to accept, because men end friendships because of gross misconduct. It has to be gross. Men don't end friendships lightly. There has to be gross misconduct beyond understanding. So basically, what happens is just that our circles of interactions reduce. And if you look at many men, they change friendships based on the circles of interaction. When the interaction circle changed, a friendship paid a price. Every time a man changed the circle of his interactions, a friendship died. Always. Yeah. If a man had 10 friends in primary, moved into a new circle called high school, there are friends who died in that process. There was a massacre, remained 1 or 2. He moved, got into campus, there's another group he got in that was in high school, another massacre takes place. So you find over time that unless these are men who, from the moment they were together growing up, they understood where they were going, and they knew what they were becoming, and they were stayed in the same place and went together. Whenever the social cycles of men change, there's always a culling that takes place. Always a culling takes place. Someone falls. There's always someone who falls. As I told men, friendships happen. Men, friendships happen. They are not deliberate, they happen. Yes. What men are deliberate about is who they let go of.